Hello and welcome to CryptoWeeklies. In this video, now that the post-halving year for Bitcoin is coming to an end, we have launched a new feature on our website cryptoweeklies.com. Link on the bottom of your screen. All of this chart is my source from my own website cryptoweeklies.com. Has a lot of indicators. One of which is the bear market bottoms. We had the estimated bull run target for Bitcoin when Bitcoin and other major cryptos when they were in an uptrend. Now that the post-halving year is coming to an end, it makes sense to now launch a similar analysis for what the price action could do in terms of the bear market bottoms. And again, identifying bottoms is much easier than identifying peaks, because peaks are more of a euphoria and based on a condition of a market which is very finicky, whereas bottoms again not financial advice, but they are more of a process and a long-winded process. So for here, the bear market bottoms for major cryptos sorted by market cap, again starting with Bitcoin over here, the latest price is at around 87k, 87,500 to be very precise. And the price is again, what we have done is over here looking at other attributes of the price, such as the time weighted average price. What's the time weighted average price for Bitcoin? Is the price currently lower than the time weighted average price? Most of the higher cap alts are above their time weighted average price, which is typical in a bull market, but again a handful number of them are already below their time weighted average price. If they are below the time weighted average price, are they more than 50% lower than their time weighted average price? Most of them are not, at least the ones in top. The top names are again excluding Polkadot over here, where the time weighted average price is at around $10, whereas the price is almost $2 level. So identifying those scenarios where the time weighted average price is much higher than the price, and then cautiously calling for a base bear case or the base scenario in the bear market. If there is a panic, that is again if the bear market takes the weighted risk lower than the lower than, let's say, 0.25, and that's where the panic sets in at around 0.2 risk. And again, if there is blood on the streets, again that means it's extreme fear. What could be the weighted risk at around 0.1 weighted risk? Again it all comes as a relationship with the time weighted average price, which is arguably more important in identifying the bottoms. Again, the logic is described over here. What's the composition of these individual risks, such as regression risk, time weighted average price risk, and the SMA risk is mentioned in the calculation. With all of these methodology, you can check out the individual models on the CryptoWeeklies website as well. So for example, over here, Bitcoin rarely spends any time below the time weighted average price. The last time it had spent some time was in 10 years ago, October 2015. Since then, again, this blue line is the time weighted average price. That's why Bitcoin, for Bitcoin and ETH, the logic in the table that you saw is different. Again, ETH did spend a handful number of days below the time weighted average price. So for safety side, the bottoms estimated are 20% lower than the time weighted average price in an extreme fear scenario. Similarly, the regression risk for Bitcoin and ETH looks a lot different. Again, the regression line fair value for ETH is at around 4k. Price is below the regression line, whereas for Bitcoin, again, over here, regression based model price is still above the regression based fair value at around 77k. So all of these individual models, again, SMA model, 20-week simple moving average risk for Bitcoin is much lower. For ETH, again, not as low as BTC. So all of these individual models fed in a composite weighted risk analysis. Per this outlook, the bear case scenario for Bitcoin, if let's say the weighted risk were to go to 0.25, the bear case bottom, as the current price stands, is at around 43k. This is somewhat of a stable bear case prediction, but again it all relates to how the price of BTC is and how the time weighted average price and the current price are moving in line, or if there is some deflection. That's how the time weighted average price risk is calculated. Right now is at around 0.83. Let's say if the time weighted average price were to go higher and the latest price were to, or the current price of Bitcoin were to go lower, then the time weighted average price risk could also go low and also have an impact on the weighted risk, where the weighted risk also goes low, but again not as low as 0.25. If it were to go lower than 0.25, then the panic case were to kind of materialize. All in all, again, this is a well-rounded approach to identify what an eventual bottom for these cryptos could be. Starting with Bitcoin, the drawdown about 50% from here could take the price in the bear case scenario at around 45, somewhere close to $45,000. That's the base bear case for BTC. In case the panic case scenario were to pan out for Bitcoin, price could go slightly lower than 40k, and worst case scenario is at around 31k for this model. Similarly for ETH, the current price is slightly lower than 3k. In the bear case scenario, price in a bear case scenario could go as low as about $1,800. That's the bear case. And if there is even more downside, again the time weighted average price for Bitcoin is for ETH is around $1,800. That's why both the base bear and the panic bear are at around $1,800. So it would take a lot of more panic in the market for price of ETH to go lower than $1,800. So the bear case in an extreme scenario for ETH in the blood bear scenario, and the bottom for ETH could be around less than $1,500. So that's how the first two major cryptos are analyzed again, and together they have almost 70% of the share. Bitcoin at around 59%, ETH at around 12%. More than 71% of the market is controlled by these two cryptos. So it makes most sense to analyze what the bear market bottom for these cryptos could be. Again, a flag on this estimated bear market bottoms is, again, there are several cryptos which are right now below the time weighted average price, at least the ones in top 50 cryptos by market cap, such as ADA over here, or Litecoin, or AVAX. For them, again, the bear market bottoms could look differently than for Bitcoin and ETH, which have more stable bear markets than the other altcoins, arguably. So for these cryptos, again, the downturn extrapolated is as low as about you can see over here 40% of the current price in that blood bear case, where again if the price of these altcoins is lower than the time weighted average price, but both ETH and Bitcoin are above time weighted average price, their own time weighted average price, as is the case. That's in that case, again, the blood case or the extreme fear case for these cryptos could be lower than about 40% of the current price, and the panic case is at around 25% of the current price. In that scenario, again, if we were to take an example over here, let's say Cosmos and its token Atom, again, right now the price is at around $2. The time weighted average price is at around $10. That means it's well off its time weighted average price. So the base case for the bottom, again, in a bear market, again, would be higher than the current price, because the current price has already gone to an extreme downturn. So again, there are scenarios where the time weighted average price based guidance kind of does not realize that in an extreme apathy or fear for an individual crypto, the price could in the bear case could be much worse than the current price, which is at around the panic case is at around $1.50, and the blood extreme fear case is at around $1.23. So that's how these individual cryptos are analyzed. Again, not financial advice. This is just a process to identifying bottom. Will definitely, as the bear market, if and when it sets in, and as the bear market kind of blossoms towards the end and towards closer towards a recovery, we'll keep again, these models are updated every day. We'll keep analyzing what the bear case looks for these major assets right now, and let's say 6 to 8 months in the future. With that, hope you enjoyed the content. If you did, please give a like and subscribe, and hope to see you again tomorrow. And check out all of these analytics. So for example, over here, the SMA analysis for Bitcoin, which is in SMA Risk in orange, and the price over here, how this kind of signals an 20-week simple moving average price based accumulation. ETH, similar story for ETH again. The price in the price and the SMA risk, how it forms an accumulation territory. What are some of the popular narratives in the market right now? How is the size of the bullish narratives versus the bearish narratives? These kind of analytics are all available. What's the performance heat map of these cryptos? Who is leading over the last 24 hours in the major cryptos? Over the last 7 days, what are some of the narratives? Which crypto is currently the crypto of the day as a strong performance over the last 90 days? These kind of analytics are all available for free. Also, analysis of the ROI of assets from year to date. Again, Bitcoin is down 7% year to date. These kind of analysis, overall crypto market completion as it stands from the risk-based perspective analysis of major cryptos, how 2025 is different from 2021 in terms of the regression, in terms of the completion related risk. We did only go as low as about only 0.6 this time during the peak. So these all of these charts are all available. The individual crypto related risk meters, again, when and if Bitcoin goes below this yellow territory into the green territory, that's when again accumulation made the most amount of sense. These charts all are essentially derivative of all of each other's in terms of risk and overall composite risk in the market. Also, we do have pairs related analysis, how the risk of an environment could look for BTC and ETH crypto pairs. What could theoretically be a top in the next cycle for BTC ETH pair? Again, how many ETH could one BTC fetch, and again vice versa. What's this is the number of or the fraction of Bitcoin available for one ETH, how it's looking, where its peak was in the last cycle, again when ETH went close to 5k, how its bottoms are again slightly higher each cycle. That means ETH is holding slightly better from cycle to cycle in terms of its valuation against BTC. These kind of charts are all available over here. Also, some of the cryptos which are out of top 100 and again not quite in top 100, but again kind of like exotic cryptos which are outside of top 100 cryptos by market cap and but still are around for multiple cycles. These are also analyzed, and also last but not the least, Bitcoin related proxies and also wider market related ETFs, such as what is the risk of accumulation of for S&P 500 in terms of the regression risk, and how it's kind of right now in a bullish territory compared to the rest of the market. Similar for QQQ. So these and also MicroStrategy, which is a Bitcoin related proxy, how its regression based risk has gone down quite a bit as the price is putting is in a similar trend like it was in early 2022 when the bottoms were formed. So these kind of analysis are all available on the website. So hope you check them out. Again, none of the content financial advice, and hope to see you again tomorrow. Thank you and have a nice day. Bye bye.